my name's Haley Fantasia.
And I'm Haley Zanga, and we're here to walk you through the steps of beating cancer through the drug Adrucil.
One might ask how cancer occurs. Cells make up the tissues in our body. Cancer occurs when these cells divide uncontrollably. This can affect many different parts of the body, and this can happen a few different ways. One of the ways is when these cells fail to go through cell cycle checkpoints. Another way is when these cells escape apoptosis. Apoptosis is cell death. This also happens when the cells leave the tumor original location and spread throughout the whole body. Here we have normal cell division. We have healthy cells dividing at healthy rates. Down here we have cancer cell division, where we have a healthy cell that divided and created an abnormality, and this abnormality decided to start replicated uncontrollably.
Did you know 1 in 2 of us will be diagnosed with cancer in our lifetimes, but more of us will beat cancer than ever before? Survival has doubled since the 1970s, so remember, you're not alone. There is hope. Our hope is Adrucil. Adrucil is a cancer drug, also known as a chemotherapy drug, that you can be prescribed. Its chemical name is 5-fluorouracil. It is an antimetabolite. Antimetabolites are drugs that interfere with one or more enzymes, and their reactions are necessary for DNA synthesis. They affect DNA synthesis by acting as a substitute to the actual metabolites that would be used in the normal metabolism.
Adrucil treats many different types of cancer. A few of these are colon and rectal cancers, breast cancers, and gastrointestinal cancers. Adrucil is administered intravenously. This means that you are placing a needle into the vein. The most common location is in the arm. These are some side effects that occur while taking Adrucil. A few of the most common ones are burning and itching at the site of injection, fevers, chills, and a skin rash. Adrucil is a chemotherapy drug that is designed to kill cancer cells. We will discuss the overall mechanism first, and then we will break it down step by step for you. It starts with blocking the abnormal cells, which are the cancer cells, by inhibiting an enzyme needed for DNA synthesis. Without this important enzyme, DNA replication cannot occur during cell division. Because of this inhibitor, the cell's DNA is not suitable for the cell to use. When these cells go through the cell cycle to be checked before replicating again, it will not pass and will be sent to death, destroying the cancer cells.
DNA is the blueprint of all cells. The human body is made up of millions of cells. Inside our cells contain our genetic information, which is called DNA, or deoxyribonucleic acid. It is a molecule necessary for growth, development, functioning, and reproduction. DNA is made up of a double helix of 2 strands, which we can see here. Each strand of the original DNA molecule serves as a template. The DNA molecule has to go through processes to be used. For a cell to divide, it must first replicate its DNA. Adrucil works by inhibiting DNA synthesis. DNA synthesis is a part of the process DNA has to go through to be created. DNA makes a copy of itself during cell division called replication. Adrucil works by inhibiting the enzyme thymidylate synthase, which is needed to create DNA during DNA synthesis. Thymidylate synthase is a key enzyme in the synthesis of thiamidylilic acid, which is an essential substance for DNA synthesis. Without this important enzyme in the body, it results in a thymine deficiency, preventing DNA synthesis or replication. The effects of DNA and RNA without this important enzyme in cancer cells cause these rapidly growing cells to take up fluorouracil at a more rapid pace. This is because fluorouracil is an antimetabolite. It resembles a normal cell nutrient that cancer cells need to grow. Because of this resemblance, cancer cells ingest fluorouracil, which interferes with their growth. The cells will no longer be able to replicate due to the inhibition of the necessary enzyme, creating abnormal DNA in the cell. The cells won't be able to make it through the regulatory mechanisms of the cell cycle checkpoints to be replicating it again, causing cell death or apoptosis in the end.
There are 3 different checkpoints that the cell needs to go through to be replicated in the body. These checkpoints ensure the proper division of the cells and prevent any abnormal cells from being replicated. G1, G2, and metaphase are the checkpoints that occur. The cell must go through these checkpoints before they can be replicated due to Adrucil. This is because the enzyme thymidylate synthase. Because of this, the cancer cells will not replicate properly. When the cell goes through the cell regulation cycle to G2, it will be stopped and sent to cell death due to the cells being abnormal.
Here we can see the cell cycle regulation. Adrucil inhibits DNA synthesis in the S phase, right here, so they can't replicate their DNA. When the cell moves on to the next part of the cycle, it will be stopped and checked at the G2 phase. It will not pass due to the abnormal DNA. The cells will be sent to cell death, no longer making it to the M phase, mitosis, where they normally can replicate. This is how the cancer cells are killed.
There is a lot of hope with Adrucil, so hang in there.